Good morning, everybody. Parsha Yitro, the very famous Parsha of the Asher HaDiberot, the Ten Commandments. So the Parsha begins with saying, "Vayishma Yitro Kohen Midyan Choten Moshe." Yitro heard, he was the leader, the Kohen, the priest of Midian at one time. Choten Moshe, the father-in-law of Moshe. את כל אשר עשה אלוקים למשה ולישראל עמו, whatever Hashem had done for Moshe and Jews, his nation, כי הוציא השם את ישראל ממצרים, because Hashem took us out of Egypt. And Torah says he took Sipporah, the two sons, Gershom and Eliezer, and he went to the desert, to the Midbar, to visit his son-in-law and to learn Torah, to accept Hashem again upon himself. So Rashi brings down a midrash that Yitro had different names. One is Yeter, which means extra, because he made an extra parsha, extra paragraph in the Torah. We'll see soon that Yitro suggested to Moshe that the way you judge people is wrong. It's too much burden on you. One person cannot handle everybody. So the whole Judaical system in the world started from Yitro. He said one can't do everybody. We have to have people who, for 10 people, someone should be in charge. You got to fight. You go to one who leads 10 people. Then 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. So the greater the person is, the more people you give it to him. So that's why it's called Yeter. Yitro, Vav, with the Vav, when he converted, Hashem added a letter of Vav to him. We'll find out why Vav. Chovev. Somewhere else it says Chovev. Chovev means a lover, because he loved Torah. And so there's 7 different names. Reuel, Chever, Keni, Putiel. So the Midrash talks about every single name. But he added a Parsha to the Torah. First of all, not too many people have the zechut, the honor of having their name as the nickname of the Parsha. Mm-hmm. We got Yitro, we got Balak, who's not such a good person, but anyways, he got the name. Noach got the name. Pinchas got the name. Right? But you don't see a Parsha with the name of Abraham, Parsha of Yitzchak, or Yaakov, or Yosef, or more. Yeah. Only a few people got the title of that Parsha. Yitro is one of them. Not only that, he got the zechut to have a very, very special son-in-law.
Yeah, Moshe.
Not everybody has the zechut, to get such a big time chacham, the leader of the world. And not everybody who says something, Hashem approves, and says, you know what, we're going to put it in part of the Torah. Great. I want to do it like this. I'm sure many people ask me.
But Rabbi, I have a question.
Go ahead.
You said Yisro was a good guy, so they got it. But what about Korach?
Right.
They named the Parsha after Korach.
Korach and Balak are two right. These two people, I guess, is a reverse learning. You learn how wrong they were. So we have to name 2 Parsha after them that you don't follow what they do. They became...
it's like do and don't do.
Right. It became infamous, right? They are infamous for doing something terrible. Going against Moshe. So Korach was the first one the first reform rabbi, basically. He said, I don't believe in the Torah. I don't believe what you say. Korach said, I don't believe in you. Who said you're saying the truth? And Balak was the first one who wanted to curse Jews and use the potential that he had against Jews. So Hashem destroyed him. And we nickname a Parsha after him to learn from these 2 infamous people. But on the good side, not so many people got the title of a Parsha after them. but Yitro is one of them. So Yitro is a lot going for him. You first know Yitro, Midrash says, and Rashi brings it down, he worshipped every idol in the world. Every idol in the world he worshipped. He was, they say he was a mevakesh. Heard of mevakesh? A seeker. He was mevakesh. He wanted to know what's the truth. In the end, when he got to the Torah,
You tried all the religions.
he taught every religion. He said,
what it
they're all fake, all sheker.
Mm.
This is the truth. So listen, if he's the Kohen Midian, if he's the leader, the priest of Midian, I'm sure he had the palace, he had the whole thing going for him. And he goes to a desert, a place that there's no water, there's no comfort, there's no hotel. If you stay in a tent to learn Torah from your son-in-law, you deserve. So now, Yitro is the Parsha Matan Torah, Parsha of giving the Torah. That means Yitro showed us something important to accept the Torah.
Yeah.
Right? Hashem didn't put the Torah in Parshat Beshalach or in Parshat Kitis. Matan Torah is in Yitro. Why? Because Yitro is giving us the right mindset of how you can accept the Torah, how you can learn the Torah, how you can become a Jew. So the first thing we can learn from Yitro is that you live your comfort. You can't be in your comfort zone and do mitzvot. A Jew has to go out of his comfort zone to be mekayim the mitzvah, to properly observe a mitzvah. Many times, for example, it's hard to keep Shabbat. Maybe it's raining. Maybe you're invited to a very special event. Maybe you're going to make a lot of money on Shabbat. Maybe you're going to lose a lot of money on Shabbat. Maybe you have to go. You have to travel to learn Torah. Sometimes you have to apart from your children for a long time. Rabbi Kiva left his wife for 12 years to learn Torah. You have to, many times you have to be uncomfortable to do a mitzvah. That's what Yitro did. Yitro left his palace to go to a desert. Who would go to the desert to learn Torah? First thing we get is our cup of coffee. We want to make sure everything is comfortable. Okay, maybe for us, our level, we need the coffee to learn Torah. But Yitro left his palace to learn Torah. Rav Moshe Feinstein, they asked him, how did you become Rav Moshe Feinstein? He's the greatest Rav of the post-Hador. He said, I never sat down learning Torah, leaning back to my chair. I never put my back to the chair. I'm always leaning over the Gemara. I don't feel comfortable when I'm learning. I want to make sure I'm fully, right? If you are too comfortable, put your leg on leg and drinking and talking, then you're not learning.
Yeah.
You have to really put all your efforts into learning, into a mitzvah. That was Yitro. That's number one. Number two is Vayishma Yitro. Yitro heard. Midrash asks, what did he hear? So Rashi brings down Kriyat Yam Suf, opening the ocean, Milchat Amalek, the war with Amalek we had last week, and other things that been going on for Jews. So Midrash asks, so 1 second, we say in Az Yashir, we read it last week, all nations in the world heard about the miracles. When Hashem opened the ocean, every ocean in the world, every water in the world split open. Also, there's a midrash when Hashem turned the water into blood. The first Makkah, every water turned into blood. So the miracles were not only in Egypt, it was all over the world. Everybody saw something is happening today.
All the water are connected.
Hashem wanted to show that I'm doing something big.
Right.
So now, why only Yitro shows up to the desert? Every country has to send delegates and people and shaliach, or the leaders themselves, or people. So let's go see who is this nation. You won against Amalek. Amalek was the true, the superpower at the time. They were the very strong people. They won the war easily. They didn't kill all of them, but they won the war. Yosef won the war last week. Why nobody came? Why only Yitro shows up? So Yitro has a very special connection. He's the only one. Vayishma Yitro. Only Yitro heard. Nobody else heard it. So
heard and
they
he-
heard, but they didn't hear. They didn't hear.
Yeah.
So now,
And he put
So-
it in action.
so I
Just
saw.
hearing is not enough.
Very good. So that's really, we say Vayishma comes from the same word, the same letters as Shema. Hear Israel. What do you mean hear? Shema Israel, right? In Arabic they say Sma, right? To hear. So it means a lot of times Onkelos Targum writes accept. Hearing means you have to accept something. You have to employ it to your life. You have to make it real. Okay, I hear. No, you have to accept it. You have to understand. We got a bus, and that's Hashem, nobody else. Many people hear it, but they don't hear it. Yitro heard it and had a very strong effect on his behavior. He said, this is it. I have to go see what's going on. Something very special is happening. I'm not gonna sit in my palace anymore. I have to go to the desert, visit my. What's happening? This is great. These are. Our friend brings down beautiful idea. He says, so his name was Yeter because extra Parsha was added to the Torah, extra paragraph. And then the next one is Yitro with a Vav. When he, so before we had Yeter, now we have Yitro. So Rashi says, when he converted, Hashem added a letter of Vav to his name. Why Vav? Why Vav? Why didn't he put Yitrah with a he? Or, Yitrot, Tav.
Well, the name of Hashem starts with you. No?
Yud.
Yud, He, Vav, He.
Right, so
And he
you-
used added
only Vav should be added,
yeah, just
right? And why not other letters of Hashem, like Yitri with the Yud, or the Yitrah with the Hey, or other Yitrash, whatever, something else. Why Vav? Zohar says, you know what the Zohar is? Zohar is the base for all the Kabbalah. Zohar says, Vav is Ot HaEmet, is the letter of truth. Vav is letter HaEmet. Can you give me a Tehillim? So our friend brings this from Rav Mordechai Druk, Tehillim. So it says that in Tehillim 34, thank you, David HaMelech wrote a psalm after he faked that he's he was captured once by Shaul and his generals. He acted like crazy people. He said, you acted silly. So the general said, I don't think it's David. At the time, they didn't have passports with the ID card, so they don't know who it is. If you look like David HaMelech, if you act like David, a king, you're a king. If you fake, you deceive. So he deceived them. And he said, acted like a crazy. And Shaul didn't see him. If he had seen him, he said, I know who's my son-in-law. He's David. General said, it can't be Shaul. It can't be David. Let's go. So he acted out a little bit and then he ran away. So he wrote a Psalm 34 for that reason. Hashem, you helped me. I escaped, happy. So that psalm is Aleph Bet, based on Aleph Bet. Le David, it's from Le David, but B'Shanut Ta'amo, because he changed his taste, his wisdom in front of Avimelech, Vaygarshehu, and he pushed him out, and Vaylach, he left. Means I escaped, I deceived them, and I left. Avarecha, the first letter is Avarecha, the first pasuk here. Pasuk Bet, I bless, Aleph. The next pasuk Ba'ashem bet. Next pasuk Gadelu Gimel. Darashti. Hibitu. After Hibitu, there's no vav. The next pasuk is Ze ani kara with a zayin.
So they skip
Then-
Wav.
Vav is not there. Why? It says because Vav is Ot HaEmet, is the letter of truth, right? And if David was deceiving people, he was faking himself.
Then
You
wouldn't
can
be-
you can
gonna
use
be-
letter of
yeah,
Vav.
letter of Wav because it's a mess.
Letter of Vav shows Emet, right? You can't.
The vav also be because it's straight.
Okay, I hear, but I want to tell you a beautiful pshat. Why Vav is Emet? Why Vav is not used in Tehillim Lamed Dalet 34? Why Vav was added to Yitro's name from Yeta to Yitro? So he says that Vav in Hebrew has another meaning. It's called Vav HaChibur, a Vav of connection. Whenever you in Hebrew you want to connect few things together, you say this and this and this and this. So Vav is connecting. Vav HaChibur is attached one to another thing. Right? The same Vav, the same meaning. Vav in Hebrew means like Va in Farsi
Right.
and in English, right? So Rav Mordechai Druk says that Vav is Ot HaEmet. Why? Because Vav is Vav HaChibur. The same Vav is connecting things together. So Yitro was the only one who connected everything together from beginning to the end. He said, I know your great-grandparents, why they came to Egypt, why they suffered, and what the miracles were, and now why Hashem took you out, and everything is connected.
Right.
Nothing's out of order. Everything is part of a big picture.
You understood the big picture.
He saw a connection of the whole thing together. So that's Emet. He said, wow, I see the Emet of Hashem. Everything is true. Everything is connected. Everything is a part of beautiful, lahavdil. When you look at some movies, the director, the one who made it, he's so professional. He connects from beginning to the end. Sometimes you lose the sight in the middle because what does it have to do with what happened half an hour ago? But if you look at the whole movie altogether, you say, oh, that's why that guy did this when he was a child. But that's why it showed, he was a poor. That's why, he stole money, or he needed medication, or, he was, in some sort of trouble here. And in the end, all connected. You don't put anything in the movie. It's not connected. Why? You just want to make the movie longer. It doesn't make sense unless there's nothing better to show. Lahavdil, you can't compare, but just imagine Hashem's word. If there's anything happening in the world, everything's connected. We don't see it.
Right.
But Yitro was able to. Yishma, he heard it.
You heard it.
And he said, oh, I can connect everything together. That's why he was opening the ocean. She wanted to kill all the Egyptians, the leaders. You know why? Because past 200 years, they have been killing our children in water, or not in the time in the water, but first when they were doing construction, they would kill our kids, put in the construction, and now it became muddy. They died in the mud like a construction. They made us work with construction, so they died in the mud. Everything is connected. Everything is like kind of midah connected midah. Everything is the bigger picture. I hear. So the only one who heard was Yitro, right? He had a gadlut, he had the greatness of connecting things together. Hashem said, you deserve the vav, right? You deserve to be added a vav that connects. So that's why his name became Yitro, the vav ha'emet and vav ha'chibur. The person has to connect things in his life. Why this happened to me? Why is happening in the world? There's nothing, just happening. Whatever is happening in Israel, in Europe, in America, all over the world, everything is connected. There's a cheshbon, there's something going on. Hashem knows what he's doing. The person has to be shomeya, right? You have to understand, accept it. So now, another important thing, he says that Yitro himself gave advice to Moshe to what to do, right? Why
And Moshe did just that.
Moshe did just that. But how come Yitro is the one to give advice what to do?
Why Yitro?
Why Yitro? You know, Paro in Egypt had 3 advisors. Who was it?
Yitro was on.
Yitro was one of them. Balak. No, I'm sorry, not Balak. It was Yitro. It was Yitro. It was Yonah and Balak, I believe. And Bilam, not Balak, sorry, Bilam. One was Yitro, one was Yonah, and one was Bilam. But he wanted to throw first all the boys into the river. So he asked him, "What should I do?" Bilam said, "Great idea." So he got killed. Yonah, he said, Yonah left alone. He said, I'm sorry, no, not Yonah. Eov kept quiet, right?
He didn't say nothing?
He said nothing. So that's why all tragedies that in the book of Eov happened to him, he kept quiet. And the only one, Yitro was the one who argued and said, I don't accept, I don't want this, I don't like it. Just 1 second. So there's so much writing here is that why he should be the one who advised. Okay, I can't find it right now. But one of the reasons that Yitro gave okay, I can't find it right now. So one of the reasons that Yitro, there's 3. One was Eov. Eov was quiet, so that's why he got punished. Bilam was pro the decree of Pharaoh, that's why he got killed. And right, so that's how it works. Mr. Yitro, Mr. Bilam, and Mr. Eov, there were 3 advisors. Pharaoh came and said, I want to throw all the firstborns, all the boys into the river. Bilam said, do it. Good. So Hashem made sure Bilam dies, gets killed in a horrific way. Eov kept quiet, said, no, I'm not saying yes, I'm saying no. So Hashem said, you abstain. I'm gonna give you a lot of suffering. He lost his wife, his children, his money, everything. He got sick. Why keep quiet? So what did Yitro do? Yitro ran away. Right? He ran away. He said, I can't argue with him. He's gonna kill me. But I can't keep quiet because I'm not pro it. I'm gonna run away. He ran away to Midian and he became the king of Midian. He was such a great, was a very smart guy. So Rabbi Zilberstein said in the name of somebody, I forgot who said the name of, but it says that when a person does not stand up for the right thing, does not give you good advice, what should he do? Somebody comes to you and he says, I want to do this, I want to do that. What do you think? I don't care. Do what you want. But you really have the ability to give him good advice. You can't run away from giving good advice. If you could do it, you should do it. Hashem puts it in your head. You have a talent or something. So share with other people. So Yitro ran away from it. So I don't want to give the right advice. He's asking me what to do. I don't want to get involved. It's going to end the opportunity. Back and give a good advice. You did not give the right advice at the time. Did not your vote was not counted at the time because you were absent. How do you say it? Abstained, right? So this time you got to do something to fix it up.
Also running away and the other guy did the same.
Running away.
Okay.
Right? He said, "I'm not saying anything." But he should have stood up and.
So what's the difference between just stay quiet and do nothing?
No, he should.
Running
No,
away,
he was supposed to say, "Don't."
That's why he ran away.
You say, "Absolutely, Paro, what are you doing? They're human beings."
If you would have said
children.
no, the power would have killed him, no? Or
Probably,
probably
but you should have said the right thing. This is not the right thing we are doing. He was afraid for his life. Maybe yes, maybe no. But he was his advice. Maybe if I'm asking advice, doesn't mean I want to kill you. I want to get your advice. What's your input? So Yitro did not do the right thing. He did not stand up to say the right advice. Hashem gave another opportunity.
where was it?
Here, he gave that advice to Moshe
Moshe.
about the court system.
Oh, I see.
Right? So the Rabbi says in the name of somebody, I can't find it. He has 80 pages of writing on a Parsha.
I see.
So he said the way to fix what you have done wrong, right? If you fail to do something right, how do you fix it? You have to proactively do it again in the right way.
In the right way. Yes.
Whenever you were lazy or you were scared or you were not brave enough to do it,
Right.
how can I fix my shortcoming in the past? Past 20 years I haven't done the right thing. What should I do now? Find what was wrong with you. What did you now do it actively, either for the same person or somebody else. But you have to, that's how you are metakim. You're fixing our behavior. Whatever I haven't done correctly so far, I have to do it now. That's what Yitro did. Yitro said, I didn't do the right advice. I didn't give the right advice. I do it now. Right? So he got the extra Parsha in the Torah. That few lines didn't have to be in the Torah, right? So why did he? The chut of Yitro was that I want to fix my past. I was supposed to protect Jews, not in Israel, right? The war is going on. Many leaders in the world, they have to give a vote. What do you say in the UN? Sometimes it is what it is. What can we do? I don't want to get involved. Hashem will put them back on the throne. Why did you be absent? Yeah, you have to stay. It's, they're defending themselves. We have to protect themselves. Or we have to help them, military or financially. We have to, or at least just words. We are pro the right side of the equation. If you don't say it, everything has to fix what he doesn't do right. So Yitro did that. So he says that when Moshe told all the stories to Yitro, all the miracles, he says, "Vayichad Yitro al kol hatova." Yitro became very happy on all the good things that Hashem had done for Jews. So Midrash says, "Vayichad" come from the word of chidudin. His skin was kind of very tense. He got also very upset. He said, the whole Egypt is destroyed? My country is gone? She said, yes. Pretty much Hashem destroyed the whole country. Everything is gone. People, food, animals, Pharaoh, nothing left. So Yitro ran away from Pharaoh. He went to Midian. He has a new life. He converts. He accepts Torah. He's still upset what Hashem had done to Egypt, or he's like kind of getting goosebumps, agitated. So the Midrash says, yes, that's why if somebody converts, even to 10 generations later on, don't talk about non-Jews in front of him. Let's say his great-grandfather converted, right? So this Armai, this non-Jews like this, like that, because he feels
Pain.
Pain, agitated. He's like, that was my family. I come from them. It shows how careful a person has to be when you deal with other people, right? A person has to have a lot of sensitivity towards people. People are sensitive about things. I remember I knew somebody who was engaged to a girl, and the girl broke up. And then she married somebody else later on. But in the meantime, there were other guys who were really bothered this guy. Talk about that girl.
Yeah.
He wanted to marry her. He was engaged. Why do you keep talking about her? It brings a lot of uncomfortable feelings. You keep thinking about the way she's engaged to somebody else. She's gonna marry. It's not right. You have to be sensitive. If a girl after 10 generations could still remember, people are sensitive about their past. Somebody started to keep Torah and mitzvot. He keep talking about people who don't keep Torah and mitzvot. Oh, they're like this, they're like that. So this guy keeps remembering. I was like that too myself. Obviously, we are trying to educate people and uplift people. It's a different story. But a person has to be always very, very sensitive about what he talks about, what he tells people. Moshe didn't had nothing in his mind against his father-in-law, just saying what Hashem did to Pharaoh and Egypt. Yitro, this is what happened to my country. So a person has to be always very careful. There is a song, there's a bracha that we make in the morning, Shulach Sani Goy. Very important bracha. We say, Hashem, thank you for not making me a non-Jew. Baruch Hashem, I'm a Jew. So there's a song from that. Shelo Asani Goy, Shelo Asani Goy. And in Simchat Torah, we always did that. We go around the table
and sing that song.
Dance with it. One year, Rosh Hashanah said, don't sing it.
Why?
I said, why? Because he said, because there's a convert here, and it's going to hurt his feelings. I don't. And that was the most favorite song we got. We loved it. The Yeshiva said, he said, there's somebody who's a convert. And everybody was going crazy. He said, we love this song. These are highlights of the Simchat Torah. No. Not today, not this time. I think they stopped that song altogether because you never know who is there. Right. Obviously, we're going to make a bracha every day. We're not, we're not going to, change the bracha. The bracha is there, but you have to be sensitive. If somebody is going to hurt his feelings, don't talk about it. So, Yitro became very tense when he heard. Okay, sure. Have a good day. Go ahead.
I'll call you today.
It says that there's a famous, not only famous, very important pasuk in the Torah. So I'm going to skip a little bit of the Yitro's interaction with his father, with Moshe, what whole court system. When Moshe is prepping Jews to accept the Torah, he says that ויסעו מרפידים ויבואו מדבר סיני ויחנו במדבר ויחן שם ישראל נגד ההר. They moved from Refidim. They already had moved, but now they're in Midbar Sinai, in the desert of Sinai, and they camped in the Midbar. Vayichan Sham Israel, and the Jews camped in front of the mountain. So in Hebrew, when you're talking about plural, few people, you should say Vayichanu. They camped, but it says Vayichan. He camped. One person camped. So which one was it? Who camped? Moshe Rabbeinu alone was there? We know a few million people camped there. So why did the Torah use the language of singular?
Because they're all one, no?
So Rashi says, Ke'ish echad belev echad. Because they were all like one person with one heart. But every other camping, there were always fights, machloket, disagreements, complaining. But that time, everyone became one.
Yeah.
And that's how they got the Torah. Very, very important, right? Ke'ish echad belev echad. If you want to accept the Torah, you have to become like one person. You can't have division. The person, obviously, everybody learns the Torah differently, understands the Torah differently. But we have to be one person, not only one community. One person, or like one human being. That's how unity, very important, very important. So, Ke'ish echad belev echad, Vayichan, not Vayichanu, Vayichan. You have to become one. Very, very important lesson. There's a very, very important idea too here. It says that Hashem said to Moshe, go tell Jews that I'm going to start giving the 10 commandments. I'm going to tell you to tell them. Moshe came back and he said that Jews said, whatever Hashem says we want to do. We don't want to hear it from you, we want to hear it from Hashem. Hashem said, great, I'll tell them directly. So I will come down with the cloud, and I want the nation to hear my words when I'm talking to you, and this way they will always believe in you forever. So Siforno explains that Jews never doubted Moshe Rabbeinu, the Nevuah. They know that Nevuah exists, but they didn't know how the Nevuah of Moshe works. Because usually a Nevuah comes when a person is asleep or faints, or maybe a malach, an angel comes, talks to him.
But not with Moshe.
But not when you're up, standing or sitting or acting normally. Up to Har Sinai, Hashem spoke to Moshe like every other Navi. Malach would come, angel would talk to Moshe. Maybe Moshe was in a dream and Hashem talked to him. It was not a direct talk between Hashem. Up to Har Sinai, up to the 10 Commandments. But now Hashem is telling him, I'm going to give you the real experience, Moshe. I'm going to talk to you directly, Har Sinai. Not only that, I want Jews also to be part of it. Why? Because I want every Jew to understand, to feel how I talk to you. Right. So we know for the first 2 commandments, Jews actually saw, not only saw, they heard Hashem talking. They became like Moshe Rabbeinu for a few minutes.
Right.
Usually, nobody
become very holy.
Usually, Hashem talks to Moshe. Moshe reports what Hashem said.
Right.
On Har Sinai, Sivan 6, at that night, right, Shavuot night,
right,
we all became Nevi'im. Not regular Navi like Avraham Avinu, like Yitzchak, like Shemuel, like David. No, we became like Moshe Rabbeinu for a few minutes. Because otherwise, how am I going to if I can't see Hashem talking to Moshe, if I can't hear him talking to Moshe, if I don't have, I'm not compatible in their level, how do I know Hashem is talking to Moshe? What's the nevuah? I don't know. It's your report.
Right.
So in order for Jews to believe what type of nevuah and actually have a sense of what was transpiring, Hashem made us nevi'im. So every Jew witnessed, not only heard from Moshe, he witnessed Moshe talking to Hashem, like two people talking to each other. Obviously, doesn't mean Hashem became like a human being. Chas v'shalom. We became spiritual. We became uplifted like a Navi. We became like Moshe Rabbeinu in the highest level for a few minutes in order to feel and understand. So why is that so important? Because there's no other nation in the world who can claim we all talk to them with a public occurrence, and we saw Hashem talking to our Navi. Nobody says that.
Right.
Every nation, every religion, they say somebody came and told us
Yeah.
this is what happened. Okay.
Yeah. But we were there.
So the only nation that can claim and does claim is us. So the difference is it fake or true? If one person comes to me and says, no, God talked to me last night. He told me I'm the prophet. I'm going to save you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do. Okay. Maybe yes, maybe no.
Right.
I don't know. I wasn't there. You were there.
But there's a witness.
But once, not only 1 million, 2 million, when you have a few million people or witnesses,
Right.
There's no doubt. وَقَامْ بِخَا يَعْمِنُ لَأُولَامْ. Also to you, they will believe l'olam, forever. It's a very famous story. They said there was once a Rabbi who died, and he had a very big organization to his name. There were 2 sons. Everyone claimed that I should be the successor, right? And people would support, half people would support one, and half the people would support the second one. Unfortunately, see this in Chassidish circles all the time. The Rabbi dies, there's a big fight. Who should be there? They become 2 ball of this, and the Satmar here, Satmar there. Because now I'm the leader. So if the Rabbi doesn't designate who is the next leader, there's always a big machlokes. So there was a machlokes, there was a fight. And one day, one of the sons is very smart, comes and said, Rabbi, the father, came to my dream and said, you should be the leader. I want you. So the other son says, good claim. But I'm going to ask you a question. If the Rebbe wanted you to be the leader, why didn't he come to my dream and tell me that your brother is the leader?
Yeah.
Right? So the whole thing is made of the fake story.
Yeah.
It's a very, very important lesson because that's what every other religion in the world says. God came to me and told me you're the leader.
Exactly.
Why didn't God come to us and tell us you're the leader? Yeah. The only one who says actually that God came to us and said that I'm talking to Moshe, he's the leader, this is Parsha. Yeah. Right? Something, you can't make this up. This is it. You have millions of people witnessing this. No one can make that claim up. How can you get, to write, so many people witnessed it? That's the, a stamp.
Right.
All right. This is the emet of the word. This is it. Hashem says, you want to make sure you remember all the time what's emet. I show you. You have to see it yourself. A few quick points on the 10 Commandments. The first 5 is between us and Hashem, and the second 5 is between us and other people, right? So obviously the first one, the second one, the third and fourth are all about Hashem. Worship God. There's one God. Don't worship idols. Don't swear in Hashem's name. Keep Shabbat. They all have to do with God. Ben Adam Lamakom, between us and Hashem. And fifth one, honor your parents also. Parents resemble God. If somebody respects his father, he says Hashem too. Father is kind of a symbol of God in the world. this authority, someone above me. Just like I respect my parents, I respect God too. So even though it's another human being, but it's not another human being. A father and a mother are partnered with God in creating a person. When you respect this partner, you respect the other partner too. The other 5, it all has to do with people. Don't kill, don't steal, don't do.
Common sense.
Just it's between Ben Adam lechavero, with the person and his friend. Not to do with God. I mean, obviously, you're going against God if you kill somebody, but you're damaging another person.
Right.
So Sifona says the first 5, we have 3 ways of serving or disturbing God. It's with dibur, machshava, maaseh, right? With our word, with our thoughts, and with our action. So, in our thoughts is the first mitzvah. You have to believe in God, one God. So that's the first mitzvah, first part. B'dibur,
Your heart.
with your words, don't swear in Hashem's name. So don't. Another category of the first 5. And in action, physical action, is keeping Shabbat or not doing idol worship. So actively between us and God. So 3 levels, the first 5. The second also, between us and us, between Jews and Jews, killing is action, right? This is from thoughts. Don't be jealous is in thoughts, machshava. Don't say a wrong testimony, right? Edut sheker, false testimony in a court that's in our dibur, in our words. And don't kill and don't do adultery. These are actively, they're action. So now, there's a very famous Siforno, very famous Ibn Ezra. He says, how did Hashem expect he says that how did Hashem expect Jews not to be jealous? It's very, political mitzvah, very interesting mitzvah. How can you say to somebody that don't be jealous?
That's the hardest mitzvah.
It's in my heart. I see something I like it, I want it. How can I be not jealous? I desire it. So he says, a remedy, how to work on this mitzvah. He says that if you have a village man, somebody came from out of town, somewhere small, he goes to the palace, he passes by White House, and he sees the king's daughter, beautiful girl, entourage of people, the whole ceremony. When she walks out of the palace, everybody protecting her. She's on the wagon and everybody, chariot, everybody going crazy, right? With that village man say, wow, she's a beautiful girl. I want her. I have desire for her. If he has the right mind, says, I don't have $10 in my name, and she's the king's, she's the princess. There's no way. I don't have desire for her. That's not in my league, right?
What if he's rich? He can afford it.
Then another village man.
Yeah, exactly.
So my father always said, when he was young, there was a guy wanted to get married, and we kept asking, "Are you getting married?" He said, "I want this girl, that girl, all the most beautiful girls in town." He wanted them, and obviously there was no chance. He said, "Are you done? Are you getting married?" He said, 50% is done. So, wow, how? I want it for sure. My 50%
is done.
Is complete. I'm only waiting for her 50%. Okay, that's a person without the right thinking. There's no chance. So, but a person said, "That's not mine. That's not my league. How can I get that?" So a person who knows it's not mine, doesn't have desire. It won't be mine. There's no chance the king wouldn't give me a second.
Right.
You give up. You move on. Don't dream.
True.
A person doesn't have desire, says Ebenezer, on his mother. Maybe his mother is the most beautiful lady in town. He says, I want my mother or my sister, right? Or my daughter to be my wife.
Okay.
Why? Because there's no chance. From childhood, we grow up, Baruch Hashem, if you're in the right society. There's no way you marry your mother, your sister, your daughter. This is it. Out of question. The person knows that is out of question, there's no desire. You don't want it, right? So Ibn Ezra says, if a person knows whatever Hashem gives us is ours, when Hashem gives somebody else is his,
Yes.
I shouldn't have any desire. It's not mine. God does not want it for me. Finished. That goes back to the first mitzvah. If a person accepts the last mitzvah of lo tachmod, right? Don't be jealous. Goes back, or don't desire someone else's property. Goes back after the first mitzvah of anochi. If a person believes in God that, Hashem is emet, Hashem provides for me whatever I need, and whatever I have is mine. Hashem gave it to me. Whatever Hashem gave it to somebody else is his or is hers. I shouldn't really care. Someone has a nice house, nice car, nice job, property, this, that, workers. Hashem didn't want for me. I believe in God. If God wanted me to have them, He would give it to me. If He didn't give it to me, it's not mine. So that makes it much, much easier, says Ibn Ezra, to work on this mitzvah of Tachmud, which is really, Chachamim say, a very hard mitzvah. It's not an easy mitzvah. So a person should work on it. Should work on his emunah, that whatever Hashem gave me is for my best, and that's it. And Hashem didn't give me something also for my best,
Right.
so I shouldn't desire it. The last point, in the end of the Torah, Hashem gives a mitzvah. It says two similar mitzvahs. The similar idea in the mitzvahs is that when you build the Beit HaMikdash or the Mishkan, you're not allowed to use cutters, stone cutters, or a knife or a sword to cut the stones to build the Mizbeach or the Mishkan. So Rashi brings down the famous Gemara, says, why not? What's so bad? You're doing construction, you need cutters, you need to make it nice. They used a special worm of Shamir. It was a laser cutter, very spiritual one. But anyways, so Rashi says, because Mizbeach comes to prolong someone's life. But metal is usually to cut someone's life. You use a knife to kill somebody. A sword is so it's not right that somebody that cuts a person's life short should go over something that prolongs someone's life. That's not good. Number two, Mizbeach, the Mishkan, the altar, would bring shalom, peace between Jews and their father, Hashem. So it's not right that a cutter should go on something that brings peace. So says Rashi, this is a very famous midrash, or Gemara maybe. He says that if stones that they don't have any feelings, don't hear, don't see, don't talk, but still they cause a peace treaty between us and Hashem. Hashem said, don't use barzel, don't use the metal, iron against them. If a human being goes ahead and it brings peace between people, between husband and wife, two families or two friends, how much more so that bad things will not happen to him. So if Hashem was so careful about stones and avanim that you cause peace, you become a mizbeach, I treat you well. If a person decides on his own that I'm going to bring peace in the world, I'm going to make two people love each other instead of causing chas v'shalom machloket, Hashem would treat us even more. And Hashem for sure. So bringing peace, shalom, it's unbelievable. Even stones get rewarded for them, even though they do nothing, right? But a person that takes upon himself to bring peace, make peace, obviously doesn't mean to compromise the right values, but on personal level, a person should be flexible. Should be able to, make peace. Give up our comfort, our ideology, personal ideology. A person should be able to be, a flexible person. It's a very, very important midah. A person should work on being flexible. A person can't be tough. It is what it is. I like this. Has to happen like this. It has to be flexible. You have to work. You see what your wife likes, your friends like, your partner likes. The person should give in. Should compromise. It's should be sure enough that nothing bad will happen to him. Hashem will protect him. Okay, these are few words from our Parsha. Shabbat Shalom.
Chazak Baruch.
Shabbat Shalom Avarach.